Hey everybody, this is your Right Geek, Honorary Man King, and leader of the Awkward Cough Squad, here with another video. Today we're going to talk about Iron Man number 169. Yes, I am continuing the storyline that I have been doing for the past several videos in this series, because once again, that's just the mood that I'm in. This issue starts off with Tony basically flying erratically through Midtown Manhattan, destroying every booze billboard he can find, which is very interesting. It's like he subconsciously knows that the booze is destroying him, and so he is acting out against all promotion of it. And all the bystanders down below are like, "What the heck? What's going on?" And some of them are like, "Well, they were kind of ugly." And then someone's like, "Well, he could just write a letter to the paper. What's he doing?" Because he was drunk at the time that he was doing this, when he wakes up the next morning, he doesn't remember that he did this. And the news, meanwhile, is reporting that Iron Man has gone on a rampage in Midtown Manhattan and has destroyed a bunch of billboards. And Tony's reaction to this is, "I don't remember this. These people are lying. You'll hear from my lawyers." Meanwhile, Rhodey finally comes back from his odyssey, and the first thing he hears from Vince is, "Oh, I got bad news. Stark is on the sauce again." When Tony gets to his office, they tell him, "Hey, our company is in trouble. We have to do something. Stain is buying up all of our debts." Tony can't believe this, because the whole time he's been basically on this bender, he hasn't been keeping an eye on what's been going on with his company. So his company's in trouble. He's not remembering what he's doing from day to day, and it's an absolute shit show. Meanwhile, we have Magma, the C-list villain here, who has built a new fighting machine for himself, and he's really determined to have a confrontation with Iron Man, because the last time he and Iron Man met, Iron Man beat him, so he really wants to get his revenge, although he calls it, he doesn't believe that it is revenge. He says at one point that this is just what's going to be best for the world, because he believes that his ideas are better than Tony Stark's. Here we have Rhodey coming in and finally meeting up with Tony again. Tony is extremely excited, but unfortunately the first thing he thinks is, "Let's have a drink and celebrate." And with that, Rhodey is distinctly not amused. He says basically, "I'll pass, thanks." Maybe you should too. It's a bit early. But then we learn or Tony hears that Magma showed up and is threatening the city and also heading for Stark International. So he goes off to change to be Iron Man. And this is interesting too. When he leaves this little kind of concerned moment with Rhodey and goes to change into Iron Man, he says, I'm almost glad of an excuse to leave Rhodey. Something in his attitude bothering me. Some kind of disapproval. But nobody in the world disapproves of Iron Man." So once again, he's using Iron Man basically to escape his own problems. Unfortunately, because he is IUI once again, when he goes to confront Magma, Magma just utterly beats the crap out of him, because he's just not Tony's not mentally there, so he can't respond to Magma's moves in an actual strategic way like he normally would, and he ends up having to completely run away from the fight because he's not mentally there, he's not physically there, he's not in his top form. What he decides to do, in desperation, he goes to his power plant and decides that he's going to juice up his armor with energy from his power plant. But again, because he's not mentally there, he ends up just blacking out all of Stark International instead. And then here is where Tony, I guess, subconsciously realized that because he's not in fighting form and he's not mentally there, he has to reveal to someone what's going on. And so here is where he reveals to Rhodey that Iron Man has been Tony all along. So we get this identity reveal here that is motivated again by a subconscious realization on Tony's part that he is no longer up to being Iron Man because of his problem. And Rhodey's response is very interesting. Rhodey basically says, "Well, I can't say I'm surprised. I've known you a long time, Tony. And well, there are some things that even metal skin can't hide." So it's like Tony gives him this shocking revelation, but Rhodey's like, "Yeah, I'm not shocked. I know you're that kind of guy. I know that you have that capacity for heroism in you." And then Tony, alas, he starts drinking some more. And Rhodey's like, "You're about to go to fight this villain. Shouldn't you lay off of this stuff?" And Tony basically gives this BS excuse that he needs to be fortified for this fight, this terrible fight that's coming. And Rhodey makes the very good point that, well, weren't you fortified a while ago when you lost your ass? And Tony BS's some more because he's not in the position to really reflect upon what he's doing to himself. And this is the moment when Magma shows up at Stark International. And by then, Tony is completely trashed, and Rhodey has to take the armor and don the armor and become Iron Man. So, if you're wondering what was Rhodey's superhero origin, this is it, right here. I know Punchy was asking me a while back, when did Rhodey become a superhero? This is the plot line in which that happens. So that was 169. Again, the continuation of the storyline that I've been doing for the past several videos. Please comment below with your thoughts, opinions, reflections, and I will talk to you again on Monday.